Hey guys, it's KC Jilly. I thought I'd check in with you, show you a little bit of what's going on. We actually had a break. Yesterday, the sky cut loose for probably 30 minutes and shared a little bit of water with us. It was so nice, thank you God. We needed it, and it's actually been pretty pleasant this morning. Probably around 80, 85 degrees right now, but for us that's really nice because it's been like 100 and something every single day for at least a month. So we're tickled to have it. In the meantime, I've had stuff in the shade cloth, and at the secret garden I've got a light set up out there starting some stuff, and just show you what's been going on here at my house though. So my little bed, I extended it, made it a little bit deeper so I could plant some more things in it. And this is kind of its setup. It's not fancy at all. I don't care. It holds a lot more dirt. And I put a little drip line on there, or actually some little mister set up. And things are doing pretty good. Those strawberries I had left are right here. And they're all making more new strawberries. So I'm ought to be set up for next year. Okay, over here in this corner, this is all cilantro. This little section over here. And there's seeds below that as well, so more is going to keep coming, but it's fixing to kick out, and that's going to be awesome. This stuff, this is all arugula, germinated like in 3 days. Everything else took a minute to come up, but this stuff jumped. Okay, and right here, you can't hardly tell because like I said, it rained last night and it's got everything laying down and buried. But I've got bunching onions all in here, whole bunch of them. And now the cool thing is that this stuff is right by my door to my kitchen. So I'm getting all these herbs and things, and I'm gonna try to grow them right here close in this little planter, because that stuff is things I will use all the dang time in the house. And all these, they're a little bit tight, but you can see there's all those different types of cabbage and broccoli and cauliflower and the things that I showed you the packets of before. Guess what? I got one planted on each side all the way down. And so I'm feeling pretty good about this. This little bed may not look like much, but I have a feeling I'm gonna make some good stuff in here. Okay, let me show you some other things now. So my grapevine, I don't know if you guys remember, I planted him here. Now he has come all the way on up here and spreading out all the way to here. And that makes me really happy. I got these volunteer tomatoes. They've never put anything out yet. I'm thinking their season's about to come in, so hopefully we'll see something if anything's gonna happen. I'll show you when I start getting some. I think it's yellow pear, but I don't know yet. I've got this growing up here, and to be honest with you, I pulled it out of a spot when it was fresh and young, and I want to say that it's cucumber, but I don't think it is. I'm not sure yet. I'm sorry, let me see if I can back up off of that. I'm not sure. It's got the yellow flowers like it, and the tendrils, and even the leaves look similar, but that looks a little different. So I don't know, this might be a melon or a cantaloupe or something. Now let me get inside this fence and I'll show you what's going on in there. All right, so I've cut down all my old dying tomato plants. My peppers, this has kind of become the pepper bed, and they're all healthy. I don't really have much on them right now. Got a little bit on the sweet heat, and a little something on this serrano looking thing. I'm not sure what exactly it is, but I cut down almost all of my basils. Most of them went to seed. I left one or two. They were so healthy, it surprised me, that they filled up most of my garden space, and so I had to get rid of those guys. I will probably plant some cabbage or something in here too, but I got to let that stuff get a little bit bigger first, because the bugs around here, the roly-polies and stuff, attack that stuff quick. But these little pepper plants are doing okay, and they're starting to flower a little bit now, and getting a little bit of peppers and such on them. My jalapenos probably fixing to kick off finally again, and I'm ready for it. You know, look at this good, healthy growth up here. So it's coming back. I had that shade cloth on it just long enough that I think it's gonna be okay. And this guy, this cayenne was burnt up all the way. Looked like there was no hope, but I see good fresh leaves starting to pop back out on it. So if the 1,000,000-degree weather doesn't kick back up, you know, we can handle 100 degrees. The peppers like that. 100 plus is when the trouble starts. Okay, so now we're gonna go on the other side of that fence and take a look. Okay, so I got a tomato there. That one I cut all the nasty off of it and it's coming back. Cut all the nasty off of that little stumpy looking thing right here. We'll see. I'll give it another minute, but it's probably gone, to be honest with you. This little pepper plant's doing okay. I have no idea what any of these are. I had way too many all piled up together. Another one right there. Little onion still hanging in there. There's some more. And this sun gold's coming back pretty good and healthy. So I need to tie it up to my string. I've got some little clips for it. This guy too, if I get him tied up, you can see getting a little size to him again. So there's hope. That dadgum morning glory, my wife planted that. I bought her some little vines called Carolina jessamine. That is these little yellow leaves right here you see. And I don't know if they're gonna make it. I mean, they're hanging in there, but this dadgum morning glory stuff smothers everything out big time. And I haven't fought with it because it's been so dadgum hot that I figured a little shade would be a good thing. At the same time, got to make sure these other things are still getting a little sun too. So, anywho, there's several of those and they make really pretty yellow flowers. All this space though, you see all this empty space and you're probably thinking to yourself, you're just wasting it. Well, I'm not. I've got this winter stuff started. Out at the secret garden, I have planted 10, 15 white onions, Texas onions, the grano yellow ones. I've planted the, what do you call them? The red onions, the red grano, I believe is what they're called. And so I'm not gonna get them this year, but they're gonna go in and I'm gonna use a lot of this empty space that I'm always showing you. I'm halfway in between prepping. I've cut all the junk out mostly. Now I need to rake it up and pick all the weeds out. As you can see beside the little dog, I cheat. And this is what I'm using for mulch, guys. I almost hesitate to say anything because I feel like once everybody catches on how cheap this stuff is and how far it goes, they'll all jump on it and then it's gonna get expensive. But you know, for about $7, I got this bag. And that thing right there, that's a lot of mulch. That one bag will cover this entire area right here just fine. And I have several more bags for the rest of my gardens, but I'm gonna get this stuff cleaned up and my winter stuff planted in the next month or so and use all that empty space. Now, peach tree's kicking butt and taking names. Comfrey's doing okay. My wife's dang banana tree is getting up there with the ash. I mean, that guy's up there and you see the canna flowers. There's a canna competing with it there, the red flowers. But who knows? Maybe next year, since these guys are getting well established, that crap, they've really taken off. Those banana trees, I might have some bananas next year. That'd be pretty cool. Grow my own bananas. All right, and this peach tree's done super too. Doing really good. All right, let me show you my other garden area. All right, so this guy made it through the heat and I'm just kind of letting him lay on the fence for right now. I haven't had many tomatoes lately. A few from the greenhouse. That is a banana pepper. And like I said, it rained last night, so it's laying, all my plants are laying over from the rain. But that's a basil. And right beside it is a green bean. And if you'll look, let's see if I can zoom down in on it. The Roma has made it. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna come back. Still got my string hanging from when it was there. Green beans in between. And these guys, a lot of these Romas, I trimmed them all up so I could find them again because I hadn't even messed with them or really looked at them in a while. And what I found out is everything was coming back and it turned into a bush and fell over their little cages. And so in order to be able to trace the future growth that's coming, see if I can get in here and give you a picture. Okay, so you see this guy. It's as tall as it is to the top of that fence. It's that much taller going up. Okay, it goes all the way up to my tree. I've got tied onto this dadgum limb right here. But I had to get in here and clean these guys up and find the ends of them again. My Roma here is flowering. That's a good thing. So maybe I'll get some. I did some of my cuttings I took from here. I've got them in the greenhouse, and I'm going to try to start some plants out at the secret garden off of them. Give me a little head start. But look at this guy. I came in here and this thing was all over the place. Now I can tell how many limbs I've got there coming off of it again. That's supposed to be a determinant. Okay, and determinants usually put all their stuff off mostly at one time. And that's it, they're pretty much done. But that guy made it through this heat. Okay, my pinto beans, they're making it. I hadn't seen nothing, we'll see. I've seen no beans off of them. Everything's just kind of shocked from the heat. So let me show you what's going on in the greenhouse. Okay, before I go to the greenhouse, I just wanted to show you my molokia, or my Egyptian spinach. This stuff's jumped up quite a bit. And I kind of thinned out all the other little ones mostly. See a couple here starting again, but that's okay. Pomegranate's doing okay. Trimmed him up a little bit. All right, so this is what is all planted in my little planter over there. Give you an idea. Let's see, we've got a cauliflower and a red cabbage, a Michihili cabbage, Copenhagen cabbage, Bloomsdale spinach, bok choy cabbage, golden acre cabbage, lacinato kale, and calabrese broccoli. Okay, I got all that stuff growing over there in that little planter. And these are my backups. I'll pot this stuff up into a little bit bigger cups. And when they actually have a little bit more leaves going on, you know, I'll probably put them in something like this. And when they get a little bit bigger, then they'll take the place of anything that doesn't make it outside. My green beans are growing. And I've got a little bit of stuff coming up there, but that's just trash. Right here's where I'm watching. Right in here, I've thrown carrot seeds. So that's to be continued. I've never grown carrots, and I'm hoping that they took. And just looking, see, I'm seeing some little stuff here. I don't know yet. Just gonna have to wait and see. Maybe some more of this trash stuff that's growing over here, but we'll see. Hopefully I can get some carrots, and I'll use this other space for more onions and stuff. I've got all those onions, like I said, started out there. I mean, I've got a bunch of them. So I'll be putting them in every little hole, nook, and cranny I can. All right, now, you see the okra's kicking on up. My tomato plants are up to the ceiling here, crossing. I just actually fertilized. In between, I also put some of these cauliflower and cabbage and such in between all of these. See, the roly-polies already ate the one that I had there, and I just put them in yesterday. So we'll see. I'm trying to use this space a little bit better. My okra's doing okay here. Okay, and you see this little line of green, that's all arugula. That stuff made so much, dadgum. And here's another little line of it right here. You can see, let me back up. That dude is the sun gold, and it is really crawling across, and so is this. It's supposed to be this one right here. That's supposed to be a determinant as well, and it's almost matching the sun gold. It's doing better than most of my indeterminate stuff. It's a weird year. I don't know what's all going on. Right here, I have some more of those bunching onions. Let them dudes get kicked off, and we'll see what happens. Got little tomatoes coming though. See if I can get you a picture here. It's a little bit smaller, but sun gold's pretty good. All right. And here are those Romas I told you about. See all the roots starting on them? At least this one is. And look, it's flowers on it. I didn't even cut them off. So, we'll see. Trying to wait for that other one to root, and then I'm probably going to plant them out at the secret garden. Okay, guys, this is where I planted all my suckers, my new bed. I've got some new mulch down here, and you can see to the left of all the drip lines are the tomatoes. To the right, I put all that spinach in that came out of that planter in the ground now, and I'm curious to see how much better they might do. Same thing going on here, not as much spinach here. I didn't put any spinach on this side really yet. So, but give you a pretty good idea though of how big those suckers have gotten. They all look really healthy, they're doing good. And one more time right here. I put a bunch of spinach right in here, so I'm trying to utilize both sides. And like I said, I got all that cabbage and stuff going, and onions, and before too long, I will be putting them in all the gaps. So right there, and there, and there are my volunteer potatoes. I also have a bunch of potatoes in there. I'm waiting for some eyes to grow on them so I can stick them in the ground. Hopefully I'll have more luck this time. Here's my asparagus. Man, that dude has done so good since it's starting to get water now and got a little shade up above. You see I got the shade cloth. And here's the strawberries that came out of that planter. And they're doing just fine. They look great. And they're already growing off the runners over here. Let's see if I can get a better. It's that gum asparagus. I might tie it up, I guess, keep it off of everything. But, you know, those strawberries look really good. Next year, maybe I actually have enough I can eat and Bubba not steal them all. Ason's a little robber. Okay, let's go that way. There's my leftover comfrey I didn't know what to do with, so for the time being, I'm just keeping them alive in the ground and grass off of them, and we'll go from there. Like I say, all this grass growing in here, it's gonna get chopped up, mulched up, and I'll use it to fill in here, like I have that old dead nasty grass I used from mowing. And I'm gonna just fill in the whole thing with that stuff and then put some fertilized dirt on top of it from the ag barn. And then I'll put some of this mulch stuff I bought. But my fig's doing okay. It's kind of recovering after it got its butt kicked when I chopped down this tree the other day to make this garden area. But you see all this fresh green growth. I don't have any figs, but this is the first year, and I'm not pushing for it. I just really wanted it to get established, and I think I've accomplished that mission. This old peach tree's looking pretty good. I notice right now, I know it's from that tree I chopped down, but this guy needs to straighten up a little bit. It's just following the sun. It's hard to beat, but I'll straighten it out a little bit with some time, maybe pull it over with the stake. This old peach tree, I'm to a place with this thing. I almost want to just cut it down here really low and let it start over fresh and not even touch it and just see what happens. I don't know yet. I put a little fertilizer on this old orange tree the other day, and that guy jumped up about 1 inch since I did that. This one still looks a little yellower, but it's doing okay. As you can see, the comfrey's just fine around the peach tree. Hopefully it's drawing something up for this poor guy. My beets, I may have to dig in the ground today, at least dig one of them and see if they're ready. I don't know when they're ready, but I don't count days and all that like you're supposed to, but the outer foliage is starting to get a little size to it now. So I may have to dig one up and check it out. Same with, these are a little smaller, but still, they're doing really good. Parsley's looking really nice. I may transplant some of this parsley, not all of it. I'm gonna leave some because it's done really good here. I may transplant some of it though over there to my little planter thing by the kitchen. All right, now the melons. I've made up my mind with the melons because I've got plenty growing out of the secret garden, and this one's just kind of struggled, hadn't done real well. I have one here. hiding down there. And when it gets ready, I think I'm just going to take all this out. I already kind of just want to go ahead and leave the vine to that one and chop all this other stuff off, because this, all it is just a big weedy mess right now, and I need to clean it up, but that's just how real life goes. This marigold is the only one I left too. I went around the yard chopping all them down, but I saw this. And that's the one thing I've been waiting on. I haven't seen a single flower, and it looks like it wants to real bad. So I'm gonna give this guy the chance. Okay, now on to my last little garden section here. You can see this guy looking pretty darn good. Here's that melons coming over the fence. That vine right here runs down to there. And then next to it is the Israeli melons. You see, they're doing pretty good. And here's some more of my suckers. You can see them as they go down the fence line here. They're doing pretty darn good. And I've got them on every row, including a pepper or two that snuck in there. I don't know, I can't remember where I found them. They're growing wild in the middle of something, but you see there's another one right there too. It's been a little chewed up, but it's getting back on track. This weather will ease up on me. And I don't know what that is, if it's a melon or water cantaloupe. Got a sunflower. It's doing okay. It's coming on up. And I've got a few more tomatoes growing along here. You see all the clover coming through. Y'all will remember quite a while back, Asen and I came out here and spread all that clover out, the seed, and nothing happened until I put all these wood chips on top of it. And now everywhere that it gets a little bit of water, you see the lines of clover. And I'm just leave the clover until it gets in my way, and then I will pull it up. But I think it's good for the ground. This whole stuff needs some help. So I know things aren't real exciting right now, but I really do have a lot of onions and potatoes coming up in the future, and all that cabbage and broccoli and stuff. So maybe in the next month or two, they'll have enough size that the garden will be worth watching again. Mostly though, the truth is I put these videos out for me, because I'm gonna look back on this stuff next year and see when I planted what and how it did and which section of my yard worked the best. And I'm sure most of you guys do the same kind of thing, but it's nice to have a little video diary. So here's to the future. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.